craziest way of Oh my God, somebody get me a beer stat. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Curious Times. It's Monday, June 4th, and we have Dianna Monroe, paranormal investigator, psychic medium, etc., and healer. So just quickly, we only have a few more shows, and then we're going to be off for five days to allow. Well, I didn't have anything booked anyway. And I won't go out of my way now to book something because there's some final touches that Jenny needs to put on, a bunch of new changes she's bringing out for IntuiTalks. And it's just easier for her to be able to work on those without having to pull the site down and then back up and down and back up and all that kind of stuff. So tomorrow we have Lisa Nolan. Wednesday, Barbara DeLong is here, and that's always a very interesting conversation. And then, wait, it's cotton picking second. Oh, that's July. And, yeah, that's because Silva isn't able to be here on Friday. Otherwise, we would have a show on Friday. So it's Dianna Monroe tonight, Lisa, Nolan, Shalosky tomorrow, Barbara DeLong on Wednesday. We're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Next Tuesday, Melissa Bruce, the heavy metal psychic, is here. And that's what's going to happen. So, we might get into some trouble with Corrine, over at, oh, that's cool. No problem, Diana. And yeah, we all love, well, I shouldn't say speak for everybody, but I do like to listen to ABBA. There's almost not very many ABBA songs I don't like, you know. But anyhow, so that is really everything I needed to. Oh yeah, we might get into some trouble. We might do something on one of those nights over at Corrine's show. Well, there's something going on, I'll post it up on my Facebook and we'll go from there. And if something should happen that we're up earlier, everything is all a new web page. Okay, .weebly.com. .weebly. .weebly. I will have to it means I have to redo this. Well, that's okay. I'll get it done, or I'll have to. I'll do one of these. No, people just listening, they won't be able to see this, and people who are checking this out on YouTube won't be able to see this either. But we'll have to go. We'll just do like this, and we'll just do like one of these. .weebly, and then we'll go like .weebly. W-E-E. It's not easy to print with a mouse. E-E-D-L-Y. .com. Okay. All right. Okay. So anyway, all of that said, as I said earlier, Dianna is a psychic medium, Reiki. She's a healer. She does a few different modalities in healing. Paranormal investigator and an ordained minister. And you can find out more about Dianna at www.psychicfrontier.weebly.com. The Weeblies wobble, but they don't fall down. I know it's not Weeblies, it's Weebles, but, it just came to me to say that. So, anyway, let's just go get Dianna and find out what's Dianna been up to. What's Dianna been up to?
Just trying to keep out of trouble, mainly, and enjoy the beautiful weather. My God, today it was, I don't know, just about perfect here. Maybe about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. You don't need a coat, but you're not too hot. It's just right. It's a Goldilocks thing. It's just right.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this little bear or whatever, Goldilocks would be happy about that. Okay. Good. Yeah, it is almost summer, they say. And
I haven't had much of a spring yet, but summer, I'd rather have summer than winter if we got to go to one of the big ones.
Yeah. I would love to have 3/4 of the year spring, and then
awesome.
you know what I mean? Yeah. Love
that
spring.
would be the bomb, and then just have then a little bit of summer, and then let's just go back to spring. Let's forget about the other stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, so what's new? What's been going on? You got your website relocated?
Yeah, not by choice either. I got an email from them saying, basically, we're holding you hostage. If you don't give us money by this date, you're going to have to republish your site. And I thought, oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
And I still want to get back up on the blog and stuff, but I've been working on some other projects and the intuition book. So I thought, well, all right, we'll keep going with them for now and then maybe make a change later. I hated adding that .weebly.com, but whatever. Hopefully it'll be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, if you still own the domain name called psychicfrontier.com?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so like any time that you want to redo website and drop the .weebly and all that, Jenny hosts websites at IntuiTalks, and she charges a fairly reasonable price, and so
okay. Jenny did that.
And you can just, and it can just be .com. She can map it so that it just comes up as psychicfrontier.com, and nobody would know that it was on IntuiTalks. You know what I mean? Like CuriousTimes.ca is actually hosted on IntuiTalks. My website is also hosted on IntuiTalks, and so because part of the package, you know what I mean, when you do a radio show here, you get the free website as well. So if you own the domain, if you don't own the domain name, then it would be .intuitalks.com. You know what I mean? But when you own the domain name, then she can map you so that you can just have your regular your regular, in your case, psychicfrontier.com. So yeah, keep that in mind and check it out on IntuiTalks.com. Look up the information for packages, and there's just a website, website alone. You don't have to, have a show package or anything like that to get your website hosted here.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
That's great.
Cool.
She does.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? You don't find a bunch of Jennies running around in the world, that's for sure.
Well, I thought she was anyway, but that's even more cool to host websites like that.
I know. And, she's quite a talented individual, that people just don't even have any clue. And, she built this place all by herself. She sure does not have a bunch of coders or anything. She's built, a very, unique type of a place here. That incorporates a little bit of social media, a little bit of the broadcasting, and you could teach courses and have private sessions and you name it, all that, and the video thrown in on top of it, together with also having the website option. It's a pretty unique situation that she has here. So, and I can't hardly wait to see what changes she has coming, and yeah, she's working on new stuff, and we just sit and wait and see what has Jenny got up her sleeve for us here at IntuiTalks. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully within after that 5 days off that I have, everything will be done, and we'll see what kind of what we got, what we have. We'll see. And so anyway, so what are you doing? Got anything scheduled or what?
Well, I'm still trying to get some people together. I thought I was going to get some people together for more of a crowd for the last Cards Against Humanity game I hosted last week, and we had, a crowd of people there, but not the people really in the paranormal group too, because I wanted to get something set up there. And the person that initially contacted me about that, it sounds like she's kind of busy with other stuff, so I'm not sure if we're going to have another one right away, but I'm kind of hearing the crickets chirp here. We don't have that many people here tonight. So I thought if no one wants to talk about paranormal stuff, maybe we could just talk about intuition and honing that and building upon our skills in that.
Mhm. Yeah, we can do that. I'm
open. I'm open.
Yeah, and we got a few more people that have joined, and so anybody can feel free to jump in and join us in the conversation or ask any questions, share any experiences. When it comes to, everybody knows this about me, I wish I could practice, and do anything tangible that would take me from an accidental, intuitive, it's almost when it happens, and that's it. I have no way to be psychic on demand. And, I only find out, accidentally that, whatever it was I just said or did or whatever, may have been a little bit psychic, you know what I mean? But let's help people that can, and same with you guys, throw into the chat room or call in or whatever. I know Amish comedian sitting in there, and she's done some pretty intensive training herself actually over the years. And what's the place in England that they go to? Dang it, I can't remember the darn name right now off the top of my head. Well-known place to go and study. And in the UK it's very interesting too, because they have some pretty strict regulations and laws and whatnot that cover the field of psychic work and what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do and all of that kind of stuff. What the heck is it? Come on, Amish, why don't you here, I guess I'm just gonna have to let's see, psychic school.
Is that the Paranormal Society they have there in, Psychical Research, Society of Psychical Research in England?
Arthur Findlay College. Arthur Findlay College.
Okay.
Arthur Findlay College. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty famous place, actually. So.
Arthur Findlay College?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's from the Ascended Master Google. Findlay. Findlay. And so she's done that. I think she's been there a couple of times to take some programs, and like I say, they have all these spiritualist churches and stuff, and like so where you'll go and they take you at gunpoint and put you up on the stage for you to do some gallery type work and that kind of thing, and so it's good. It's like they just like throw you into the water to sink or swim. But I do like the idea that it's always on the forefront of the ones in the UK that I come across, of because they're not allowed to touch on medical stuff and legal stuff and all of that, right? Like they're just not allowed to. That's just all there is to it. It's just all there is to it.
And it's good. It keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah,
and I want
sure.
to too, if there's anybody that has another topic they want to talk about, even if we haven't touched on that at all tonight, if you're feeling an urge to talk about it, please call in. I'm open at this time. And one of the things I love about your show, Curious Times, Chris, is that it tends to go wherever it needs to go that night, So I want to encourage people. If they've got something that needs to come up, because we've had some really interesting topics come up from callers, just from people in the chat room or something that would call in. So if you got something, we're open. At least I am. Aren't you? I'm sure Chris is.
Oh, always open to it. Because after doing 4,623 shows, you kind of, it's like I used, that's a number, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's a very lot of shows. Like, I don't know.
The whole boatload of shows, Chris.
It's probably at least a couple thousand, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, and, so, yeah, I used to prepare ahead and have blah, 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 and it would be like, I'd have a topic, I'd have material, but it's like, how many different ways can I talk about freaking chakras and stones and blah, 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 and ghosts and, all that kind of crazy stuff. So I like it when there's just like a different slant that comes in on it or whatever it is that happens. Like you say, whatever comes up is what needed to come up, I guess, and we feel, I used to always like have people going like, stay on topic. I'm all like, get your own effing show if you want to worry about staying on topic. What do you mean stay on topic? There is no such thing as stay on topic at Curious Times,
Yeah, so interesting. I don't really care what the topic is. I
see a shiny thing and it's like, and off we go into a whole different, I found it interesting you say that because, you became an ordained minister like by actually doing the work and not just like paying $10 to an internet website and getting a certificate sent to you. So that's good. I've had people, oh, do you hear? Take it again. Then you can put Rev in front of your name. I'm all like, I have zero interest. Even if I was an ordained minister, I would not like put a Rev in front of my name. And secondly is, if I ever were going to do that, it would be the proper way because last thing I would need is to be like on air or whatever like this and have some troll come along and go, oh, so where did you take your training to become a, you know what I mean? And then go the website. And what did you study and did you have to pass? What material? You didn't have to study anything. I just had to send them $5 and I got my certificate. So you know what I mean? It's so bogus to me, really. You know what I mean? Really bogus.
But it is nice that some group offers that through the internet because it does protect people who do natural healing work like Reiki or SHUE or anything else, that's kind of a maybe not a hands-on, it could be, but it's just more the natural healing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that you can't really, you know, not a lot of scientific stuff has been done about it, but the people who know it works, they trust it, they know it works, but it keeps you from being sued then if you're trying to help people with that type of healing energy is the point I'm trying to make.
Is so a good question. I mean, so what training did you actually have to do? How long did it take you? What did you have to, you know, what kind of program was it? How long, and what kind of materials were you studying and whatnot to become an ordained minister in the traditional way? I guess you're telling us that you became an ordained minister in a more traditional way, yes?
Well, it was in that it was from an ordained minister. I believe he was a Southern Baptist minister,
mm-hmm.
and then he started his own fellowship called the Lively Stones Fellowship. And you can look this guy up. Sadly, he's no longer on the earth with us, but he was the, I forget if it was doctor or reverend is first, but the doctor, reverend, what's his first name? It's Fuller is his last name. Willard Fuller. That was it. And
mm-hmm.
what was really amazing about his studies, I forget now how long a period it was, if it was like, it wasn't like a whole semester. It was like maybe a month or so of like different days training. And he had some materials for us, and he did this laying on of hands, and I forget what he called it now. It was now I don't want to misquote him, but what he did was he did a laying of hands on each person toward the end, and just about everyone in there was speaking in tongues. And there were, I forget, 40, 60 people in this training class I was in, and there were only 2 of us that could not do it, and I was one of them. And it was really kind of weird. And I'm not sure why. I think I was just afraid. But a friend of mine could not do it either, and we both thought that was kind of strange. But anyway, he was, like I said, ordained a Southern Baptist minister, and if you look him up, Reverend Dr. Willard Fuller, he's also known as the Tooth Fairy because you've heard of him?
www.willardfuller.com.
Okay.
Yeah, he it's like was a healer, but also like did all this I don't know, dental stuff and all that. So I don't know if that was.
Well, he, like I said, he went through the full, however many semesters, years, whatever they have to do to be a Southern Baptist minister. And what happened was he'd been doing that for some amount of years, and this woman came to him, and she said, you know, my husband's beating me, and it's just horrible, and I want to leave him. And he said, no. And basically what all the churches tell you, Christian churches anyway, a lot of them, you know, you have to stay with your husband, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she went home and she killed herself.
Oh, my God.
And after that, he said that changed his life forever because he had no intention of that happening. And he said he felt so bad, he just said, this is bullshit. I can't do this anymore. And so he left the Southern Baptist Church and he started his own fellowship. And he told a friend of mine that was my Reiki Master Teacher that he said, well, you know, in the Bible, it's the book of John. I forget what the reference is, but I know it's the book of John. And it says something to the effect of all these things that Jesus has done, we will all do these and many more, right? And he told my Master Teacher, he said, you know, I would never say this publicly, but honestly, you know, as long as I've been doing this, and as long as Jesus was alive, I already have done that, and I have no doubt other people do too. But who else is going to believe that? You know.
Yeah.
And you know, my teacher and I are like, yeah, we get it.
So I wanted to take a minute and invoke the spirit of Dr. Willard Fuller.
Oh, he was awesome. He was one of the smartest people I ever met.
Wait a minute. I'm in the middle of bringing the guy, so hang on, bear with me. I am invoking the spirit of Dr. Willard Fuller to come and heal everybody's teeth who is listening now or could listen in the future, who is open to receiving such dental healing as he is able to provide. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, he provided a lot more healing than that. He just kind of became known for the dental stuff, because what happened, and I don't think he had any intention of this. He would lay hands on people and he'd pray for them. And I think he did it kind of the way I did, because I think I took it from him. He would just ask for the person to be healed for their highest good. He didn't even ask for specifics. He'd just say heal them for their highest good. So if it was their time to move on, and leave that body, he'd say, okay, whatever it is, do it, but make it easy, make their transition comfortable, or else heal them and make that comfortable so that they can heal it easily. But what happened was, when people first hear of things, miracles and things, and they're not really spiritual to start with, sometimes they grab onto one thing, and make a big deal of it. And the dental thing was the thing that people grabbed on with him. And what happened was, a lot of people noticed that when he did the laying of hands on them, or did any praying for them or anything like that, they would have this dental work done. And when I was through the class, he laid his hands on my head at least a couple times and did a little prayer. And so I would look. I went home and I looked, and one night I forget if it was 2 or 3 fillings that were just those clear or white fillings that are kind of big right now, and they have been for about 20 years, right? 20, 25 years. And those fillings were all silver.
Wow.
I shit you not. And some people have seen silver, and some people had gold come in their mouth, but mine were silver, and I'm like, oh my God, I mean, I didn't really doubt it, but still, when you see it and those weren't in there before, it's like, wow, okay, this is cool. It happened to me, and so I can never say enough good things about the guy, because he was so nice. He helped me with one-on-one, with just different healing protocol things he thought might help for me. And because one thing he said, most people, I don't tell them about this because I don't think they're really serious, but I think you're really going to do it, so I'm going to tell you. And he would go over some things with me, but very kind, Southern gentleman. He had but it wasn't that really, I don't know how to describe it, but it was a Southern accent that I find very attractive. It wasn't too heavy, but it was just kind of that kind of light, that soft sound. He had a deep voice, but he had that Southern accent, because I forget if he was, at the time I think he was living in Florida, but I believe he was from Georgia. And like I said, just Southern gentleman, very smart. And if you wanted to know about healing and he thought you were sincere about it, he'd point you in different directions and help you out. He was really awesome. So I was very, very thankful I got to study with him.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, he was really amazing.
People can go and find out more about him and check him out on the internet. When did he, looks like he died like back in 2009 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it had been almost 10 years now, because I was looking him up a while back, and I saw that he had died. I took a class from him almost 20 years ago, and he was like in his 80s then, and just sharp as a tack, and could get around. He had a cane sometimes, but he got around really well. You would have never known he was in his 80s, because he's just living life fully still. And he was in his 90s when he died. He still went on a while after that.
Yeah. I'm just looking up, when did he die? I'm having a heck of a time. Well, the Wikipedia usually shows. It's not showing me. It's not jumping out at me. The reason I'm looking is because it almost looked like somebody has posted, something about him on May 23rd, 2009. And I don't know if it was the day before the guy died or what, when he actually, can anyone find me out that date? Somebody will find it for me. Amy's in the house and Michael's on the job probably. Someone will find me the information. I just know it. I'm psychically knowing that somebody's going to come with that information for me on that. Because it would be interesting if, that's a heck of a... Yeah, okay, you only see 2009 also. Opening a new copy link location. That's a monster link.
And there was some man that followed him around for some time at the different classes he would teach and ended up writing a book about him. I wish I could remember the title for you, but I don't. But I'm sure it would be easy to Google find.
Well, it's not, though. March 1st, 2008. That's what, June 14th night. No, that can't be. Different one, different guy. I
believe I studied with him in 99, and he was still around for about 10 years after that.
Was he from Jacksonville? Where was he from? Jacksonville?
He was either from Georgia or Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida?
I think that might have been where he lived when he died. I kind of think he might have been from Georgia, if I'm remembering that right, but I might not. I might be remembering that backwards.
So Dr. William Fuller, this guy, it looks like April 8th, 2009.
Okay.
Began his theological studies in the 1940s, became a Baptist minister in the early 50s, achieving a doctorate degree in theology. He founded a worldwide ministry, Lively Stones World Healing Fellowship in California in 1968. He traveled extensively worldwide, spreading the gospel and the truth of God's word, praying for the sick, teaching, and conducting numerous healing seminars. He loved people, considering it an honor and a privilege in the love of Christ to listen to the concerns of all those who came to him for comfort, counsel, and prayer. Dr. Fuller's ministry will be carried on by Althea Cook Fuller, Fellowship President. Gifts and resources and blah, blah, blah can be sent.
That was his wife, Althea. She was very nice, too.
There you go. It was April 8th. So there looks like a lot of people were touched by him. No pun intended.
Yeah, and what I liked was, even though he was a Southern Baptist minister, that's where he received the bulk of his training. He went on, independently to do so much healing work on his own. And when he taught the classes, he didn't go on. I don't think he mentioned the Bible at all. He didn't really talk about Jesus or anything like that. It was just kind of your spiritual connection. He focused on that, people making their spiritual connection and feeling energy, and then just setting their good intentions to helping heal people.
Yeah.
And that was it. In fact, one time he did explain, he said, a lot of times when I say a prayer, at the end I might say something like, in Jesus' name I ask this. And he said, now, whether or not, Jesus is really doing that, or even if you don't believe in Jesus, it really doesn't matter. I've just found that it works for me, so that's why I do it.
Sure.
But he wasn't like, Bible thumper and, you have to believe in this, that. No, it was really all about healing and just kind of making the world a better place. And that's why I loved studying with him.
Well, I don't exactly remember Jesus, preaching a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
He wasn't going, at the time only the Old Testament or the Torah was there, and I don't remember him really going on about that in anything I've read about him. But
yeah,
if he did, I didn't hear about it, or it wasn't written about too much.
Yeah. It's like as soon as all that starts, it's like that's when it gets lost on me. Because I can go with the concept and the idea well enough, but I could do it without the Bible, really, I don't really have a lot of... Yeah, that's
why I liked Fuller, because he didn't stress that at all. And he said, I know a lot of people don't, for whatever reason, they don't really like the word God, and that's okay, too. I just suggest that you try and tune into something that, is stronger than you are,
Mm-hmm.
And he just made it real simple like that. And so a lot of people came from a lot of different backgrounds, but, a lot of people could relate to him because he kept it so specific to just, helping heal people.
Right. So back to then, did he have a formal curriculum that you had to follow, and then exams or any kind of anything? Did you you know what I'm saying? Usually when you take a program, there's a set of objectives, learning objectives, and once you can accomplish those learning objectives and demonstrate them in some way, then you have achieved your your certification or your passing grade or whatever it is. And so was that how his program ran, or how did you receive your final designation?
Yeah, I don't remember the details in terms of what we had to pass. I remember we took some types of tests or quizzes or something, and I took a lot of notes. But just because it's been so long, almost 20 years, I just don't remember the details of it now without finding any of those notes. But I felt comfortable with it because, I completed everything, and I was just so gung-ho about taking it because I'd heard about this man for probably a couple years from my Reiki Master Teacher before that, and so I was really excited when someone got him to come to Omaha to do this type of training for us.
Omaha. Every time I think of Omaha, I think of the Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's funny because one of the main buildings, I've just known it as the Tower, but there are other buildings now at the Mutual of Omaha campus, and on the tower, one of the main buildings, one of the original buildings, it might have been the only building at the time, it was this big tower, and there's just that big head of the Indian, that you see on the Mutual of Omaha show, that kind of drawing of the Indian, that logo. And some people in Omaha that I know that worked there, they'd say, oh yeah, that's the FBI. And I'd say, what are you talking about? And they'd say, well, that's a fucking big Indian. And that's how everybody knew that building, because of that big Indian on the top of the tower. That was the FBI.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome.
And it's still there.
Awesome. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, kids, come with some questions, or what do you want to hear about? Tell us. Let's see, we're at 10 minutes.
Intuition thing, whatever people want to talk about tonight.
Go ahead, launch into your intuition stuff.
Well, I think there are just sometimes when we're working on it that I think we might expect too much too soon. I know I expected that a lot in the beginning, and since then, through the years, I've kind of learned to be a little more patient. I know that, everyone says, oh, meditation, you'll get the answers. And you do get the answers that you need when you need them. It's just that when we need them isn't always when we want them. And I think that's a big key to concern yourself with intuition, because I've talked to a lot of people who said, well, I can't work with my intuition, or my intuition isn't that good because I don't get the answers I want. And they'll say, oh, I meditated for, however many minutes, so many days, whatever, and it didn't get to me. And I said, well, intuition doesn't always work on demand. It does when you absolutely need it. If you're about to be in a car accident or in any type of danger like that, chances are you're going to be getting messages, at least the one you need right away. And if you listen to it, good for you, you're going to be okay. But there's so much more to it than that. We just have to be more patient. But I know that the meditation, even if it's not much, it might be 15 minutes a day, but if you're doing that every day for a while, for a few weeks, few months, everybody's a little different. I think you're all going to notice that the intuition does key in a little more. You tap into it more, but it just takes you a little while to notice it, because we are faced with so many distractions every day from that intuition. But if you just, the main thing I've learned is that there's usually kind of a nagging little voice on the inside. It may not be a voice per se, but it's just, it might be a vision, it might be a word that keeps coming to you, an image in your mind, because everyone's intuition is different, but you're going to have some intuition, some message that it's just kind of in the background, but it just keeps coming back to you. You'll think about it, and it doesn't make a lot of sense right there. You'll see like a green car or something, something just out of nowhere. And you kind of push it away, and you go about your day, and you're going to work and whatever. And then a little bit later in the afternoon, you might see that image of that green car again or whatever it was. And I think we can really build our intuition if we just keep listening to that kind of nagging background impression that we get, whether it's a voice or an image or something else. Because that is the intuition working, but that took me quite a while to kind of realize that, hey, that wasn't just, some freaky thing from a dream or some other spirit kind of nagging at me, throwing something at me. It's most, to me, the strongest messages are the ones sometimes that when we're not in danger, they are kind of that dull background impression. Image, voice, whatever it is, however you most work with your intuition. And I think we really do ourselves a world of good if we just really, when we see that a second time or we experience it a second time, okay, this is coming through for some reason. Even if you're busy at a meeting or something, that's all right, but, make a note of it or something. Just remember it so later you kind of come back to it. And then if you pray, great, you can ask for it then, or if you just need a little quiet time, do a little 10-minute meditation when you get home, whatever you need to do, just kind of still your mind a little bit. You could be doing something you love to do, and that's still meditation if you are in that peaceful mode where you're kind of stilling your mind. And if that comes back again, just really start asking more questions and start paying attention to it. Because as soon as you start doing that, more pieces of the puzzle are going to come together for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that, Chris?
Well, I don't really notice much, and now, I can't really say. I'm just like a different kind of a beast in this area, I guess, I try my best, and there's nothing I can do to work with it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't, it's like when it's on its own freaking timetable. Like I say, I can go at times and sit and look at the crystal ball, and poof, stuff starts appearing. Other times, no. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and there's been a couple of other really interesting, scenarios, but again, they have been entirely, unforced. You've heard of unforced errors, like these were unforced successes. And just, you know what I mean? Like just, and so often for me, it's like when I'm trying to mock it or, prove that I don't have it, is like stuff pops out.
That's when it really comes active, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
you don't, huh? Okay, here you go.
Yeah, everybody has an Auntie Jeanette that they just, got a present from last week. You know what I mean? And then somebody goes, oh my God, I just got a present from my Auntie Jeanette. And I'm like, shut the fuck.
Yeah, because everybody's psychic, at different levels with different strengths and different gifts. We all have kind of a different hodgepodge, of the intuitive gifts we have.
Michael has a good question, and this has been my challenge all along. My answer to that, Michael, has been was quite, is the big question, like, how do I know if it's my own stuff or if it's like guided in, I'm like, everything smart that I say is spirit guided, channeled, and everything stupid that I say is mine. You know what I mean? So he's saying, how do you differentiate? And that's the tough one. So some people, now I have sort of come a little ways. I noticed something one time, which is that, when I think back on some of the weird situations, like just out of the blue, I get a thought in my head to go and check on this or that. And then I do, and it's like, whoa, like the one moment in time that if I wasn't there, I wouldn't have seen that. And it was like seeing that was very helpful to know, or whatever it is, right? And I've now noticed that it seems that when those kinds of things have happened, it's like I get a thought in my head that says, you should blah, 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 versus I should blah, blah, blah. And so I might be on to something for my own self, in that, which is to say that if I ever hear this in my head or get this thought in my head, which is to say you should blah, 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 then I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. Because it seems to me that there's a high chance that is guidance coming. And some people have it easy, Michael. You know what I mean? Like one of the questions that I ask, have asked over the time of my guests has been, so how do you receive your information? In particular, let's say we're talking about mediumship now. And so some people, like, they actually get like a slideshow of images that go through their head, or they just get thoughts in their head. Some people actually hear. Some people actually see outside of themselves. And Renee Richards, she can look in her carpet and see numbers and names, and she can look on her wall and see numbers and names. That's lucky. See, I'm jealous of those people because there's no doubt then. You know what I mean? Like, it's external to you, and it's something that you can, like, point to and say, okay, so there. For me, if it's just another thought coming through my head, then you're always left with I'm not going to say that because that's just my own, and it's particularly more difficult, in my opinion, to get your own self out of it then. You know what I mean? And, you can only ask that that your higher self stays, or that your lower self, your ego, stays out of it. Like when you're when your information comes to you just in thoughts, and it's not a different sound. I know that sounds stupid, but sometimes a thought in your mind might take on a different tone. And so even that would be helpful to me. Something that helps me to identify that, okay, this is guidance, this is information coming from elsewhere. So I can now give that, and I can say, this is what I'm receiving for you, and not have to worry that it's just my own opinion or my own whatever. You know what I mean? And so I'm very jealous of the people that have like when I've looked into the crystal ball and I've actually seen stuff, well, then there you go. I can say, here's what I see. And I don't have any problem doing that. But that doesn't happen very often for me in that way. Most times when I'm being psychic, quote unquote psychic, is just like, I'm just like talking. So I'm channeling it, but I don't have any way of identifying that that's what I'm doing. I don't know that it's not my own stuff. That, you know what I'm saying, see? So,
and the gift of discernment, distinguishing, is this my intuition or is this someone else? Because a lot of times we'll have loved ones, friends, family, come back and try and help us, but it still may not be the best answer for us. They might think it is the best answer for us, but that's where we've got to use our discernment to decide, which one really feels stronger or feels right. For me, it's always been, well, what feels right? Now, the bad thing about it, though, is sometimes our intuition will tell us things we don't want to know, but we usually still, I think, if we don't blow it off, if we're really still listening and we want to really work on our gift of discernment, I think we will open that door where it does just feel right, even if it's what we don't want to hear, where we can distinguish, yeah, that's my intuition. I may not want to do it, but I know this is my intuition. And some people have a stronger gift than that than others, but I do think that we're faced with, I think we're given opportunities of discernment just about every day. If we're paying attention, and we're utilizing it. But it could be anything. I mean, you could be going to your route on work that you always take, and something might just tell you, oh, no, I'm going to go this other way today. And I don't know why, because it may take me 10 minutes longer, but I just have to do this, And then you find out there was road construction or someone was killed on your regular route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know. And it's like when I've said my story about, not everything like that seems to be like a bad thing to happen to you today is a bad thing, and the example that I've always given is like, you just never always know, like those times when you're on your way out, you're in a rush and you spilled something on yourself and now you have to go change your slacks or something And so now you're all frustrated because, how's your day? It started off terrible. I spilled coffee all over myself and had to change my pants, and that left me 3 minutes late. And, but what you didn't realize is that there was possibly some intervention going on there which kept you from some other kind of experience that would have really meant a bad day.
Right.
I'll show you a day, and so sometimes those little annoyances or whatnot, they're actually something stepping in to help delay you, deter you, or whatever like this, and put you in a different situation. Again, but the same thing happened to me in reverse, which is to say, in the negative way, and it was one of the biggest bad events in my life. And I was heading out from work, and it was the noon hour, but I had to get out to a town that's not too far from here, and meet with some of my union members who we were going to be ratifying their first collective agreement, and so I had to go meet with them with the executive to go over the details of the ratification vote the next day and all this kind of stuff. And so as I'm leaving my office, I one of the things I almost always used to do as soon as I got into my vehicle and once I got on the road or something was light a cigarette. And so I got just half a block down from the office, and I couldn't find my lighter. And so there's a little gas station just up over here, and so I detoured. I stopped to buy a lighter, and then within 3 minutes of that, I got smushed terribly in an accident, and if I wouldn't have never stopped for the lighter that day, I wouldn't have been at that place I would have been 3 minutes ahead of the accident, you know what I mean, or 5 minutes or whatever it was. And so it happened in reverse for me also, but then these other things, that went on to form part of my life wouldn't have happened either then. So you can't start to double second guess all of that kind of stuff either. You just got to go with it and take it as it comes and that kind of thing. So
the best you can.
Yeah. So you're just following, and the time when I'm driving home, and I always take the same way, and I always get into the left lane at the same time at the same place. And this one day I'm all like, I may as well get over into the left lane now because it was going to be a red light up over here. And so as soon as I move up over into the next lane, the car that sort of replaced me where I was got rear-ended. You know what I mean? So, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe me can be big in your messages, but it can be so subtle too.
Maybe me moving caused that accident because me moving led to that car moving forward, you know what I mean, and the car behind it, whatever. And so maybe maybe me doing that messed somebody else up too, but it wasn't it was just like a fender bender accident, you know what I mean? Just but one of those inconveniences that no one wants to deal with on their way home from work, which is to stop in rush hour traffic and have to start trying to exchange insurance information and all that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, well, let's do a song, and maybe in the meanwhile, people will Michael, does that answer it for you, or do you want us to give you anything better, a better answer on that? We'll reach into the hat and we'll get a better answer if you need. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna find a song, and we will come back after that song, and we'll see where we go from there. Let me see. Here, let's do this one, Led Zeppelin. We'll do A Whole Lot of Love, and or should we do Battle of Evermore? Either way. Oh, I want to hear this song though. Actually, no, I can't make my damn mind up. Here, we'll do this one.
Take Are you looking for a place to meet like-minded people? Perhaps you're a light worker looking for a safe place to share your thoughts and services. We've got a place for you. IntuiTalks.com. Join for free, post updates, blogs, create and join groups via website or radio or class package. The possibilities are endless. Join the all-spiritual, all-under-one-roof network,
IntuiTalks.com. All right, we're back. Welcome back. Quick shout-out. Amy, hello, Amish. Diane is there from Canada. Marie, how are you? Michael, Nancy. Yes, call in. Please call in. Please call in. We have Nancy who's interested in calling in. So Diana is our guest, of course, and so let's go bring Diana back. Hello, Diana. We got someone calling. I don't know if she wants to just talk or if she wants to get her weekly therapy session in, or if she's going to get a reading or what. You never know with Nancy, but it's never boring. I guarantee you that.
We don't care. We're here to help, aren't we?
We are here to help. Do not tell me to shut up, because if I shut up, then there's dead air. And then if there's dead air, then there's no curious times. And if there's no curious times, then how can you possibly come into my show and abuse me in such a way as to my own show? You could say, oh, Chris. Oh, shush. But don't say shut up. Okay, there she is. Remember, don't swear because we're recording. Be nice. It's like our Sunday school behavior. Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
What's going on?
How's Hush?
You got to turn your sound off your computer because you're getting the feedback.
Let me do that. Got it. Bam.
Okay. So what's going on with your bad self?
Oh, I had been working all day, and I'm not going to talk. I would like a reading.
All right. Excuse me.
I had Mexican for dinner. Sorry. I can't help myself. Chris hates it when I talk and talk and talk, but it's okay. I say so it's okay, but then she just checks out.
Hello, Diana. How are you, Diana? Can I please get a reading, Diana?
Yeah, that's fine. What's going on?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
here.
you were cutting out a little bit, and I had a dog making a noise that was kind of distracting me. So if you already asked the question, I apologize. But it did not sink in because I had some distractions on my end. But now I'm good.
I have some distractions on my end, too. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. That's
simultaneous distractions.
There you go. What can we help you with tonight?
Oh, well, look, there's another distraction. Hey, Chris, you want to play a song? The phone is ringing.
No.
I
know.
know. All right.
Go deal with your. People have tell the people, for heaven's sakes, I'm live on Curious Times. Will you call me in a different time? And so anyway, so we'll just we'll get her back in a minute. We'll get her back in a minute. If anybody else wants to call in and yak with us or get a reading, please get in line. We might get out of here a bit early if we don't have somebody calling. So, you don't have to get a reading. You could just talk. You could just tell us about your day, tell us a joke. You could tell us a paranormal story. You could ask a question, whatever. You could do that. So, is all your distractions taken care of, Diana?
Yeah, and it was kind of creepy because I heard my dog growling, and I'm looking around, and he's nowhere to be seen. So I don't know if he's just hiding under the couch, but he's quiet now, so that's worked out. A weird little dog. He sometimes likes to do readings, though. He's a funny one. My older beagle, if I ask him if he wants to do readings, he just looks at me and, no, I'm late for a nap.
Yeah.
But the white dog, he likes the Jack Russell Terrorist. He kind of likes to that sometimes.
Yeah. So, Nancy, whenever you're ready, push 1 and say hello, because I won't have any idea when your distractions are finished with. So, let us know by doing that. In the meantime,
I may have a camera to be on with you the next time we're on. I can't promise, but I'm
nice.
hoping to have a little camera on my monitor next time.
Oh, well, how cool will that be? That would be nice.
I know. I think I do have one computer that the camera still works, but the computer's not charged, so I thought it was, but that didn't work.
See, I got this stupid smartphone, but I guess the better ones have a camera on either side. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if I would I would have to hold it this way if I was gonna go on. But how do you do So here's my thing. So people use these phones to do video chatting with each other or something. So if they're supposed to see me, my screen is on this side, but my camera thing is on that side. How's that supposed to work? You know what I mean? So now I have to go to the nearest bathroom and hold my phone up like that, and then so that I can see them, and they can see. It doesn't make any sense to me. So if I were going to use this camera to do the show, I would have to and then I would not know. I would not know if I was in frame or if I was, you know what I mean? It would be dumb. So it's kind of.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just a dumb smartphone. Nancy, if you're there, you should be able to select which camera side you want to use. Oh, back camera is usually the higher. Well, but I don't think that I have a camera on the front side. You know what I mean? I don't have any. There's no hole. There's no hole in the front side there, Michael. That sounds very bad. But, so I don't understand how it would work this way. I'd have to I'd have to hold it up like I was taking a selfie maybe and do that or something.
I thought I was going to be able to log on with my iPad and use the camera, but when I tried to log on to IntuiTalks, it said something about you needed, I think it was flash drive. And
what you need to do,
iPhones and Apple, you can't use it on there.
No. What you need to do is just take whatever your device is, okay? Go on to Google, and for your particular device is, you go flash application for, and then insert the name of your device. Okay? And then there's an app that you can download, and then you now have flash on your device.
Hang on, I'm going to have to write that down because I didn't hear the beginning of that. And it sounded like something that I could use.
Some is called Dolphin. There's a few different apps, but the best way for you to do that would be just to Google flash app for, and then insert the name of your device. So if it's whatever you said that was, iPad or whatever the hell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then hit search, and it'll take you to. What did you say it was? It was what? An iPad?
Yeah.
iPad. So it looks like it's going to be Puffin. Probably going to be Puffin that you'll get.
Puffin, okay.
But just do the search I said, and then follow it along, and
Okay, thanks.
Top left, flip the camera to face you or out to the others. What are you talking about? I don't think, anyway. Puffin didn't work for you. Yeah, but what device do you have, Diane?
I think it's an iPad 4.0.
So use the exact thing. Then let's see, does dolphin work here? Let me ask does dolphin work for iPad? Dolphin web browser for iPad. So dolphin might be it then for you. But I'm just trying.
Dolphin, dolphin.
Yeah, it's either going to be dolphin or puffin. And but it's going to probably possibly depend. You might have to try both, but I mean, basically you should just like punch in your exact specification device thing and go. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, Nancy, are you with us or no? Can you press 1 or what are we doing? You're on live on a there you are. Okay.
I know. All right. So evidently, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, okay. I'm so serious right now. So I fed my daughter too much broccoli tonight. She called me from on the cell phone and the house phone to let me know she was nauseous. And so we're working on a popsicle at the moment. Because that'll get the taste up. Yeah, that'll help with too much broccoli. You know, that's the cure-all. Okay,
there you go.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
There you go. Okay, so anyway, you ask your question.
Okay. So, my question is always, all right, going to be about these dreams I've been having. I can't go to sleep without bringing somebody in or going on an adventure, and I'm always on a cruise and lost, always lost, more than likely lost, but having a good time. I wake up exhausted.
And I don't know if there's a specific message to any one of those dreams. I'm getting you might be getting different messages in a few different dreams when you kind of think of them together. You might kind of piece something together and go, oh, yeah, that. But the other message I got was that some of them are just kind of like for a little mini vacation, just kind of a little break and to have fun. And I don't know if this will mean anything to you or not, but when you called the first time, I kept seeing, and it wasn't directly by you, so I don't know if I'm seeing something that was in your dream or not. I don't think you were in it, but it was kind of like a race car, but it was weird. It was kind of a bigger race car, like maybe something from the 1960s or 70s, some of those really funky ones that they would build individually, but it was all black. And I'm not sure what that means. I don't get a creepy feel from it or anything. It's just unusual that it is all black. I don't even really see any metal on it. I don't know if that means anything to you or not, but that was around you when you first called.
It does. Demolition car, like a demolition derby car. Just meant to
that's what it is.
And have fun with. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, but I thought that was so weird that it was all black. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
That was probably one of the best things, and everything else is all, like unanswered mystery, and like that was one of the highlights. Everything else is all just ill and sad, and
is there anything in those dreams where you're getting the kind of negative, sad feeling that is not directly related to your life, but does it hint at anything maybe that you do need to kind of either change or maybe even remove from your life, whether it's a person or a thing or an idea or something? Because I'm getting that some of the dreams are trying to help you clean out stuff too, but they're not giving us the direct literal message that we want usually, like, okay, tell me what I need, show me in a dream. It's more the symbolism. Yeah, very subtle.
Yes.
Are you making notes of any of these dreams?
I don't wake up and do it, no.
Because sometimes, and it's not like you have to, keep a long diary of every dream, but if you even write a sentence, a few words, sometimes I found that when you go back and look at those, if you're kind of keeping track, if you keep kind of a little mini notebook by your bed, and I always say keep a pencil, not a pen, because your pen might get stuck, and then you might forget what the dream was by the time you get a pen that works. So keep a pencil, like a mechanical pencil there, and that might help you piece some of this stuff together, because I am getting that you're being given most of it in kind of bits and pieces, but that they're kind of starting to come together. If you're still remembering them, you're probably seeing some patterns or getting some feeling about at least an area of your life that the dream might be kind of hinting at. Maybe not a direct thing you need to do, but at least kind of a general part of your life.
Right.
Have you discovered that yet?
Well, there's a definite pattern. It's always on water. It's always the same people involved, and the story. It's not, of course, who you want to be in the dream. They're never there until you least expect it. It's the ones you're trying to get rid of. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, you might for a little while want to keep a dream journal by your bed, and even if it's, like I say, a couple words or a few lines, because when you go back, sometimes there's like one word or one line you'll read, but you forgot it in your mind. And that one thing that you forgot that you got written down could help you piece more pieces together a little more quickly sometimes.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes
sense. But I
sense.
do get the feeling they are starting to, I don't want to say come a little faster because that's not the case, but you're starting to piece them together a little bit better. Get a possible meaning.
Yeah, I need to document them because they're not going away.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I think they are trying to help you kind of clean some stuff out. And it may not be physical stuff. It might be ideas or people or something else.
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of purge a few things. And I'm getting it's nothing you have to do immediately, and it's not like a drastic thing where you have to cut out, so many people or so many things from your life. It's not that at all. It's just like a couple things kind of here and there, and that's going to help you just kind of ride the roads of life a little more smoothly than what they have been. And it's not like the people or the things you cut out of your life, they may not be the first thing on your mind as, oh, I hate doing that, or this person is such a pain. It's not that at all. It's more subtle. But that your intuition's going to guide you. But some of it may not make a lot of sense yet for a little while. I think that's where the dream journal might help you a little bit.
Yeah.
So that after like a few weeks or months or so, you might look back and then kind of seeing how it's, in hindsight, it's going to maybe make a little more sense than what it is every morning when you wake up with a new one. Does that make sense?
Nancy, does that make sense? Hello? Oh, her call just dropped.
Oh.
Dang. Dang, she just dropped. I think she heard all that and then she dropped, so.
Oh, okay. Well, darn, I was getting some stuff coming through for her. Come on.
I know, we'll see if she calls back. We'll see how long it takes her to realize that she she was right on, and I'm so
died. Okay.
Phone died. Okay, phone died. So finish in the chat then if you have to. And you're not in the chat. You're in the chat room, right, Dianna?
Yeah, I am in front of it right now. Yeah, and Nancy, if you're still with us there, it looks like you are in the chat room. I do think that more pieces are going to come together for you a little more quickly than maybe what they have been before. Paying attention, and again, just writing down a few things on each one, I think might help speed the process. You get anything, Chris?
No, I totally wasn't trying to.
Okay. Sometimes that's when the most stuff comes in, though, when you're thinking, oh, it's not on right now, or I'm too tired, and then all these things go.
Somebody just sent me a link to a cute pet thing, so I'll check that later. Thank you for that. No, I often try to not, because I'm not here trying to be the psychic, you know what I mean? And if I have ever anything to say, believe me, I'll pipe in.
Well, I never know, because sometimes things just kind of come in suddenly. We never know sometimes when they're going to come through.
So is that it, Nancy? You need any follow-up on that, or is that good, or what? She goes, I do think you're right. Is that good?
Nancy, is there any other issue on that I did not address that you want me to look at?
I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, and now we'll get zapped by YouTube for me using like copyrights Jeopardy music or something. She's not answering now, so I don't know if she's listening.
Hopefully we got it answered.
Hopefully. Oh, I appreciate the advice to journal. That should help. Okay, very good. Cool.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, Nancy. Hope it all makes a little more sense for you here soon.
All right. So I guess that looks like it's it. We may as well have an early night.
That sounds good.
Okay. So next time we have you, hopefully you'll have been able to get out on a paranormal investigation. We have you next on the 18th of June, and I'll be right before summer solstice. So. Yeah. So
thanks for having me here tonight.
No, thank you always for coming. I appreciate it very much. And you guys go find Dianna at www.psychicfrontier.weebly.com and here every 2 weeks on Curious Times. Well, I should say on the first and third Monday of every month. Dianna is here at Curious Times live, and maybe next time live on webcam. And so we'll see what happens with that. Good luck with the app. And if you have any trouble with it, I don't know if I could really help. I've never had an iPad, so. But anyways, hopefully it goes without problems for you installing that. And then you can use that device on IntuiTalks.com. So, all right, then. Okay, kids. So we'll see you back tomorrow night. Lisa Nolan Shalofsky is here. And thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for calling in, Nancy. And now you can go tend to your broccoli overdosed child. And and nobody will call child services on you because you're taking good care by overfeeding broccoli to your child. Very good. And so we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great rest of the night. Thanks again, Dianna. Everybody take care. Peace out.
Take care, everyone. Bye.